Hey, I teased this video last week, and it's about just making a quick chat with the user answer chain. But it's not that quick, and it's actually pretty detailed, and it can just really go. So let's dig into that. But there's a lot going on in the back end as well of how I got the data into here. And so with that, I'm going to save that for my newsletter. So if you join the newsletter, the link is below, then you'll start getting more detailed information and lessons in N8N. And on that note, just again, like this course is going to help you rethink how you approach typical day-to-day problems that in the past I would have hit with coding without questioning it, but now with N8N and Lovable and Bolt and Cursor, 20 years later of being a developer, it means a different thing now. And I really hope to help people see how they can use these tools in their day-to-day just to change a lot. Like not only the code we don't code, but also the problems we normally couldn't solve, but now we can. So I'll be hitting that in the course. And again, the links are all below for the course and for the newsletter. This question and chain area here is really interesting. So in the past, I would have had to have code all of this, but here we have things patterns that are built around LangChain, which is good to know because LangChain is a really well-respected framework. Code all these agents and services when you could just do it this way. So in this case, I chose a question and answer chain. Now, I got there because there was a tutorial on this, which here it is, which talked about how to do it. And I'll share this link below as well. And again, all these tutorials are great, and all these, actually it's not a tutorial, it's a template, but they're great because you can dig into them and learn from them. So in this one, I had to learn how to make the database in Supabase a little bit more. It needed a particular function, which I think happened automatically when I used Postgres on another project. In this case, I am just chatting with some data that I put in the database. Now, how I got the data in there is interesting. This is what I'm going to show in the newsletter. I'm sending screenshots and analytics into the database, and then we're chatting with that data. And I'm actually using the OpenAI image analysis to turn that screenshot or PDF into something that I can chat with. In this case, we can then just start a conversation about that data. Now, ideally, what will happen eventually is that we'll put those screenshots in a folder on Google Drive, and then it will trigger the ingestion process, and then I can just chat with it. Or more importantly, we have common questions we're asking, and just have it email us or Slack us the question answers that we're typically asking. Once we have that data in though, let me move this out of the way. We did this question and answer chain. And so again, there is just a lot here to do with N8N that you can learn. The agentic AI can do some of this, the question answer chain, of course, which we're using. If we did the AI agent, just so you can see something there, even that has interesting options that would be worth digging into, and why is one better than the other. Conversational agents, yeah, it's just a lot here to learn. And that's the other thing too, is because I'm not struggling anymore with building a bunch of code, troubleshooting, deploying. I have free time to learn these concepts, learn the bigger picture of what it means to put these pieces together and then make it something, a tool a business can use. So in this case, let's get rid of that guy. All I did was add the question and answer chain, which comes with a chat. I can make the chat public as well, which is nice. You can just click that and make it public. And now when you go there, you can have a chat window, but you can also install it as an NPM library. So you could go have a chat from another site. So that's neat. But now we can say, okay, here's our question and answer chain. Here's the prompt. So they gave me a prompt template, and it just had this and some stuff above it. Again, this prompt is lame. It needs to be bigger. It needs to be more robust. It needs to help the LM along to understand how I want it to lead me or guide me, as well as just to contain or stick to what we have for questions and answers. So giving it more understanding is better. I would probably take this prompt into Claude and just have it to help me build a better prompt, basically. So we have our question and chain. We have the OpenAI model. I just chose this, I don't know why. But we could set the temperature down too, so we hope that it sticks to the data. You can get 0% hallucinations. It's not that hard. Just good prompting, low temperature and let it know to just say, I don't know I don't have enough information. And you can consistently get it to do that. And again, when I added this, and thanks to those docs, I added the vector store, and then I added the Supabase vector, which was what I used to put the data into. And Supabase just makes it really easy to have a database, to have a hosted database, but you could just use Postgres. I chose Supabase. On another project, I chose Postgres. And so with this guy here, I just said, okay, we want to, and actually defaulted to a lot of this, we want to retrieve documents for agent chain, but we have other options. And from the list of the table I made, and then ran those queries against. And then finally, I choose the query name, which is a function that's part of that query, where there's a function that basically, let me show you really quick. Let's see if I can zoom in. Where we can make a function to search and our table and return the data in a way that the best vector match returns. It's just a nice way to get the right data out of the database. It'd be interesting to see if I need to do that or other ways. Lots to learn here, but now I have the time to learn it because I'm not writing all the code behind this, which is really nice. So then, of course, we use our embedding engine that we use to embed the data so that we can get the data out of there. So it embeds or vectorizes our question, finds related data, surfaces it, gives it back to the LLM. And actually, let's look at that because that's what's nice about this as well. Let me grab a question I've been asking and then let's see what happens. And this is, yeah, that's great. That's great. I had to turn the temperature up. I was having bad results or removing the temperature completely. I had added it here, but I removed it and I'm doing better now that I removed that. A moment ago, it ruined the results. Okay, so you can see the bigger picture of chatting with it, getting your data into there, using question and answer chain in how the vector store works. But more importantly, you can see like following the docs, putting together these pieces, in not coding it, freeing your time up to learn more about these pieces and concepts. There's a lot of reading to do. And again, click on any of these and just go read the docs and then scroll down, and usually there's links to templates and stuff. Maybe I'll add a template here so that you can just learn more about these particular blocks in this particular workflow. So yeah, there's some good examples there. And then just keep learning about these concepts. So now, again, I could hit this via the forum. I could hit this via an API, which I showed in another video. But we have now our stuff vectorized in there and we're chatting with it. All right, join the newsletter to see the detailed information on how I got the data in there. Consider the course, subscribe, and share as much as you can this video with other people so that it helps me to do these more. All right, thank you.